Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord, and I'm your host Eddie. In tonight's video, I will be giving you my spoiler-filled film review for the most recent Apes film, War for the Planet of the Apes, which debuted earlier tonight in advanced Thursday screenings. I just got back from one with some friends, and it opens officially nationwide tomorrow. Check your local theaters for times. Let me just say it's very, very, very good. Now, before I keep going on and on about it and I keep gushing and I don't shut up about it, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled film review. Again, this will be filled with massive, massive spoilers regarding War for the Planet of the Apes. So if you intend on seeing this movie and you don't want anything spoiled for you, do not keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be going into big plot details and character revelations and whatnot. And if you have seen the movie, please keep watching and listening, as I hope you find what I have to say informative and somewhat entertaining. So, once again, big, massive spoiler alert. Spoilers starting in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. That being said, very, very good film. Very good movie. This was a solid finish to a pretty awesome trilogy. I'm not going to lie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is probably still my personal all-time favorite of these three films, but this movie definitely is worthy of falling in that line. I mean, this was a great conclusion story. It had action. It had heartfelt character moments. It had some really sad, heartbreaking moments. It had some perfectly balanced humor, I thought. You know, the character Bad Ape, played by the incredible Steve Zahn, was very humorous, and just like the glimmer of life and humor that we needed after some darker scenes in the movie. And this was by far the darkest ape film of all of them. I mean, this had so many heavy themes to it that was just like, damn, I was not expecting this much depth for a summer blockbuster, but that's what it was, and I really liked it for that. There are some things that I was hoping to see, and unfortunately, I didn't get to see them. You know, for instance, in the trailer, we see this white ape, and it's revealed to be an albino gorilla, appropriately named Winter. And unfortunately, Winter turns out to be this cowardly, spineless traitor who basically sells out Caesar and his fellow apes to the humans, which results in the, spoiler alert, untimely, very sad deaths of Caesar's oldest son and his wife. Fortunately, his little baby son is still okay. But it's the main driving force for Caesar in the film, because he's out to get this evil, ruthless colonel who's dedicated to wiping out all the apes, and now Caesar has a personal reason to go after him. And it's partly due to Winter, this albino gorilla. And in the trailer, I was intrigued by this character, and I was hoping they would be a new supporting, like a new major supporting role. And unfortunately, that was not the case. Winter turned out to be this short-lived, cowardly, spineless gorilla who later was strangled to death by Caesar after getting all this information out of him about the colonel. And then I was hoping to see a more, this is going to sound kind of bad, but I was hoping to see a much more violent end for the Colonel. I mean, I could understand why he did what he did. I just don't agree with the way he went about it. Very ruthless, uncaring, no sympathy or compassion whatsoever. I was hoping for a more violent end for the Colonel. You know, I was hoping for a more violent one-on-one fight scene or a one-on-one death between him and Caesar. And when Caesar finds him, he's of course become stricken by the mutated virus, which is making humans mute and making them act more animalistic, as it was revealed by the Colonel. And it was such an ironic twist, too, because now humans are starting to devolve while apes continue to evolve. And so in the next installment of this story or this franchise, by the next time we see it, humans will probably become much more animalistic, with apes becoming way more evolved and civilized. So it was an interesting, ironic turn of events. Anyway, I was hoping to see this Caesar have a hand in killing or directly killing the colonel, to finally, bring justice for his family. But instead, he allows him to live, and he either feels sorry for him or he realizes, nah, dude, I'm going to let you suffer and stay alive, because now you're going to be mute forever. There's nothing you can do about it. But that didn't last long because the colonel offed himself once Caesar left the gun with him. And then for a movie with the word war in it, you would assume there'd be a lot more action battle sequences. I mean, the movie opens with a pretty cool action sequence. I mean, it's kind of a merciless slaughter at the same time, but still it had its moments here and there. I really love that scene where we see the big gorilla hand reaching for the army commander with the earpiece, and you think, did the apes just sneak up on them and wipe them out? Nope, that's the traitorous gorilla. And I also love the fact that the humans use the apes they call donkeys to keep the other apes in line, and they spray painted donkey on their backs. And they treated them like donkeys. They made them do physical labor, and they would also make them fetch them water and food and weapons and whatnot. They're basically their slaves. And I thought that was an interesting way to show that the ape collaborators were not respected at all by their human allies. And there's some other things that surprised me. I thought we were going to lose Rocket and Maurice a few times, but fortunately we did not. It probably would have been a lot sadder if we had lost Maurice. I thought up until he started to slump over that Caesar was going to survive the end of the franchise, but obviously he didn't. But at least he could die peacefully knowing that his people, his son, were going to be safe and free from humans from there on out. And so at least he had that peace of mind when he eventually did pass. I mean, this was the end of a legacy for him. But you know what? Overall, very, very thoroughly enjoyed it. The slower and the faster moments. I was so grateful to have a character like Bad Ape who was there for a few good laughs in between some of the darker, heavier scenes. And I love seeing the apes. I love seeing the apes trying to convince Caesar that enough bloodshed was enough, but Caesar was determined to take on the colonel and kill him, and ironically it's what led to many other apes dying and his eventual downfall. Another surprise, I thought that human soldier, who ultimately was the death of him by shooting him with the arrow, was going to have a change of heart and help him escape or help him do something to turn things around, but instead he did not help him escape or do anything to help Caesar at all. He was going to kill him until that gorilla finally has his change of heart, blows the guy up with a rocket grenade, and then he's instantly killed by another human soldier. What I was hoping to see was the gorilla who finally gets sick of seeing his fellow apes get mercilessly gunned down by the machine gunner guy. He was going to grab the guy, throw him off the wall, grab the machine gun, spin it around, and open fire on the human soldiers who were on the wall. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, he did have a hand in saving Caesar's life. I also liked how this movie became a lot like an escape film. It wasn't necessarily a war film, but it was definitely an escape film where the apes were carefully planning with Rocket and Maurice how they were going to escape this place, and they did successfully. And all the cute little baby apes also made it out, which was nice. And very, very entertaining film. I'll probably see it one or two more times. Maybe not this weekend, but I'll definitely see it in theaters a few more times. It was very enjoyable. I really, really liked it. Didn't love it, but I really, really liked it. And I think it's because Rise of the Planet of the Apes is such a personal favorite of mine that it's hard in my mind to top that. And I don't think this movie necessarily topped Rise, but it did do a hell of a good job coming awfully damn close. So overall, I really, really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. I think you guys would enjoy it too. What did you think for War for the Planet of the Apes? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you able to predict some of the things that were about to happen? Was there anything that surprised you? Any shocking character deaths or characters you thought were going to die but didn't? Please leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more film reviews like this one. Check out War for Planet of the Apes. It is worth your time. It's a fun one. I think you'll enjoy it. And thanks again for stopping by. Have a great rest of the night and a good weekend if I don't see you again. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.